What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, where we're going to talk about the club looking for a striker and why it's extremely possible that Morata could actually make his return again to the club. Why Di Lorenzo is a quote-unquote main target, and why Chiesa could be involved in the Di Lorenzo deal. Sounds ridiculous, but it's actually out there. You know, that assumption, that idea is out there because of the Chiesa situation and because, well, Di Lorenzo is apparently a main target for the club. So that's what we're going to talk about. Before we do that, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as always, but especially hit the like button. And let's go. Okay, a Morata. That's a name that unless he retires, will always get linked with us every single summer. It doesn't matter where he plays. It doesn't matter what his potential transfer fee is. It doesn't matter what his wages are. It doesn't matter what our striker situation is. He will always get linked with us. It's one of those things, and well, here we are again. And this time it's from Fabrizio Romano, which is, well, a very good source, to put it at least. So the story is that Morata is pushing to go back to Italy. He did that interview saying, I feel that Atletico doesn't want me as a quote-unquote main guy, so I just don't really want to be here. He has a 12 million release clause. Both Juve and Roma are considering the possibility. Now, Roma obviously losing Lukaku. They're not going to redeem him. Chelsea are probably not going to loan him out again for a season. So they have Tammy Abraham coming back from that injury. So they're looking for a striker. He potentially has the ability, obviously, over there to go and play much more than he could with Juve. Because for us, the idea is backup. The idea is we're selling Keane and even Milik, in my opinion. Otherwise, I don't really see this happening, that the club is going to spend 12 million euros on Morata if Milik is still in the team. I don't see that happening. That being said, if the transfer fee is 12 million euros, the club will do everything possible to bring him in. I'm convinced about that. What I'm also convinced about is that Alvaro will be okay coming back to Juve, knowing that he's not going to be the main guy, even though he he said it, at Atletico, I'm not the main guy, so I don't want to be here. But I think coming back to Juve, he would accept that role, knowing that Vlahovic is going to be the main guy. However, like I said, if Milik is staying as well, and it's just Keane leaving, or Keane staying and Milik leaving, I don't see the club doing that. But 12 million euros for the club, for the situation we're in now as a club, sounds very attractive. I know his wages is insane, so we need to big time have that basically. But that's something the club hosts definitely will consider. They will look at that and they will see that as an opportunity. Maybe down the line, maybe Morata. I think because Morata really wants to join, I think he's willing to just sit there and be like, yeah, if that's possible, then I will sit out and wait a little bit, even if it's in the final days of the market. If that's actually a possibility, then I will come back. I will come back and I will join you guys. So let's see. But that's not the only striker we're looking at. We're also looking at Broja, who's still owned by Chelsea, who played for Albania. So a lot of people don't watch Chelsea or Fulham, I think it is this season. Is it Fulham? I think it's Fulham, where he came back from a very big time injury. But if you watch Albania, you probably know who he is, or if you actually watch the Premier League. That being said, he is a possibility for Milan and us, because Chelsea are looking to move him on, actually definitely sell him. I saw a quoted price of 25. That's a player we should stay away from, because he's not worth 25 to be a backup. So it's very pointless for us actually to consider Broja. Maybe if you sell both strikers, well, you definitely need a striker. But then again, if the opportunity for Morata is there, the club will jump on Morata rather than spend 25 million euros on Broja, who is not a bad player. Like before his injury, I really liked him. His injury obviously slowed him down. Maybe it's too soon to judge if he's going back to get back to a certain level. Excuse me. But that being said, I thought he was a good player. But for now, like 25, nah. Like I'm not a fan of Morata back. I don't want old things back. I've said it so many times, but hey, if you need, if you give me the option, I'll take Morata. But I would even say no, even for Morata. But 12 million, that's something the club will definitely not pass on. They won't do that. But now the other news, and that's Di Lorenzo, because that news is not going away. It's just not going away because he wants to leave Napoli. He made that clear, even though Conte tried to convince him. He, or via his agent, let it known has let it known to Napoli that he's not going to change his mind. He wants to go now. The quoted price is around 20 million euros. Now, Tuttosport has a solution saying that we can swap Chiesa with Di Lorenzo, with Napoli paying 20 million euros for Chiesa. I don't see that happening for so many reasons. I don't think that's a deal a club will do. I don't think that's a deal Napoli will do, that they will give up their captain and pay 20 million euros for Chiesa as well, knowing that he's a free agent next summer and Di Lorenzo has a contract until 28 plus an option until 29. On Di Lorenzo, I'm not a big fan. Against Albania, I thought he was good, actually. Like, that's one of his best games defensively. It's Albania, they act possession. I get it, but I'm not a big fan of Di Lorenzo. I never was, and I think I will never be. And when I hear that contract, 28 plus a year until 29 on 3.5, it makes me sad. Like, it makes me sad. He's 30 years old, I think it is. That means like that's 34, 35. Like that's crazy. We shouldn't be doing this deal, But I know Giuntoli knows him. Even if Motta likes him, I will say I will back whatever they're trying to do, and then at the end I will say, okay, this didn't work. That's on you. But if you give him that long-term deal, you're kind of stuck with it. If it doesn't work out, nobody's going to buy Di Lorenzo. Nobody's going to take Di Lorenzo off your hands. So a long-term deal, 28, 29 on 3.5, that's the worst-case scenario, in my opinion. Even if you bring in Di Lorenzo, it shouldn't be that type of long-term deal. It shouldn't. But that's news out there that the club is actually going to push to bring in Di Lorenzo. And we kind of need to sit there and see how that goes. It won't be an easy deal. I don't like to spend 20 million euros on him as well, but it won't be an easy deal. Like, Napoli made it very clear that we don't want you, and then they're like, okay, we want you, we're not going to sell you, so which direction this is going. Even if you have an agreement with the player, which we have, it's the captain of Napoli. They're not going to just let him walk away, on a cheap. So it's going to drag on, and it's not going to be pretty. I will say that. It's not going to be pretty. It's absolutely not going to be pretty. But it could be happening. That news is just not going away. So, but yeah, especially let me know in the comments what you think about the Morata deal. Do you want Morata back? Like, do you think he will do a good job? Or are you like, no, stop this madness. Now, we had enough of Morata. But yeah, let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and I will be back later tonight after the Euro game with a live show.